I'm McCullen. 2 rules. Rule 1. You're no good to me dead. Rule 2. What difference does it make? You'll all probably end up dead anyway.
Call of Duty 2 is one of my favorite sequels ever made. It was an improvement from the original, more epic moments. It felt like Saving Private Ryan, the video game, was made by the original devs Infinity Ward. This one, however, was made by Treyarch. They made Call of Duty 2 Big Red One for the PlayStation 2. I actually like that game so much. So does this live up to expectations? Let's find out. The story is nothing groundbreaking. It's the classic Call of Duty formula from that era series. It's an historical shooter that is set during the Second World War. Unlike Big Red One, that just had one person's perspective, they return here to the classic formula of the first 2 games. With multiple countries from the Allied forces. It's interesting, but I think it falls flat here. The magic is not there. It doesn't hit the same as the previous games. That sense of epicness from fighting the good fight, for me, it was absent. What I like about this game, and huge respect to the people who worked on this, they added Canadians. Canadians were a huge part in fighting the forces of evil during the Second World War. In a lot of media, films, and video games, they really forget that element. So seeing my home country represented was great.
Green flags! Green flags!
To specify, I've been playing the Xbox 360 version and I played it on the Series X. So that might have an effect on the resolution and performance. The game is a cross-platform game. It was also released on PlayStation 2 and the original Xbox, and to be honest, it shows. The character models look like they belong to both generations. The levels are fine as well. They also look kind of cross-gen. However, I did notice when in the presence of smoke, graphics lowered the resolution. Sometimes they became pixelated and it has a 16-bit feel to them. I don't know, it's just weird. I have some issues here as well. First of all, the music is kind of lackluster. I feel the music for most Call of Duty games are underrated. There are some pretty epic scores which elevates the game. Here it just falls flat, apart from one scene where it gives me the chills.
That's it! They're running! We did it! We did it!
But apart from that moment, the music is pretty forgettable. The voice acting is off as well. I know during that era of gaming, voice acting wasn't like it was today. Compared to older games in the series, it could have been a little bit better. Especially when it comes to accents, some accents are off.
Who's this pissant?
Private Leslie Perron, but further introduction can wait.
The rest is perfectly acceptable. Sounds from explosions and gunfire are all good. Nothing to complain about. Gunplay is still solid, nothing wrong with it. I had some fun, however, the game has some dated gameplay mechanics, mostly QuickTime events. This game actually went overboard with the QuickTime events. First of all, the C4 parts, usually they were C4 missions, and all you had to do is hold X and run away. Here, you need to press a button, rotate the right stick, press another button. It was not that bad the first few times, but after many times, this becomes really boring. Actually was annoying to do, especially when you're under fire. And speaking of rotating the analog sticks, you do that with the other stuff like rowing a boat. You also use these controls to rotate and lift mortars and cannons. This is the most awkward thing ever, since you have to rotate both of them for the angle and also the direction. I don't know why they use this control scheme, but it does not make things very fun. In classic Call of Duty fashion, they had to put driving sections. You have the classic tank. The tank is not terrible, but some of the levels are way too small for the tank to have full enjoyment of what's going on. This could have been more fun with a more open area. You can also drive a Jeep. This is so underwhelming, it doesn't add any excitement for me. And some parts are a limited open world. You have to find the correct path, but usually there's a waypoint and somebody yells you out the directions. At the end of the day, it's an okay game. I don't hate it, but I don't love it. It was fun gameplay, but is plagued with glitches. The level design could have been a little bit better. The voice acting pulled me out of any immersion. The music is lackluster compared to other titles in the series. I would give this a 2.5 out of 5. There's some fun to be had, but it's not the best Call of Duty out there.